everyone. Welcome back to my channel. It's Sherry. Today I'm going to use Diamond Press Celebrate the Season. And I'm going to do this a little bit different. I'm not going to be doing the stenciling and everything. So I'm going to show you what I want to do and let's get started. All right. So the papers that I decided I was going to use is I was going to use this peppermint from Recollection that I got at Michael's and the Christmas Noel. And then I wanted to pull a sheet from this I got from Temu, and they had like, I wanted music notes, so I took one of those sheets out. Okay. So I'm going to make a A2 card size. And I was trying to figure out how I wanted to lay it. So I cut the ribbons. First, I cut them in white. I thought, well, maybe I want to use them in white. Then I saw the stripe it, and I was like, no, I'm going to do it in the stripe it. So, but I wanted to lay out the die cuts on the top cover so that when it will show the music lyrics on the back, the notes for music. So I had to judge where to do placement of the ornaments, and I also want to make sure that I have enough room to, because I want to put my sentiment right on here, and I wanted to put that about right there. So that's about where I want my placement on all of these. So I'm going to tape these down and run them through the die cut. It's okay that they run off a little bit, because sometimes ornaments don't hang on the tree the right way neither. So we're in good shape here. And excuse me for my voice. I have sinuses from the leaves. We were up at the Pennsylvania Grand Canyon last week, or the weekend before, and the tree pollen must have got to me pretty bad. I'm going to take my well-loved folder, and I'm going to lay this on here like this, and just run it through. And it was beautiful out there. I mean, the leaves were changing and everything. And we had nice weather going up, too. Okay. So now I'm just going to lift this up gently. Don't want to tear my paper. I'm going to put them over here. I'm going to keep these ornaments because I might use them for something else. And put this back on my cover sheet. Now, I know this isn't cut down to size because I didn't know how I was gonna move it around and that. And this is my A2 card size. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna snip this off so I can realign it to the way I like it looking on the card. I don't have no rhyme or reason what I do here. I'm just, I know this is too big. Now this paper is more like typing paper. It's real flimsy. And I think I better trim a little bit off the sides too. Side anyways, that way I can figure out how I want to do it. Yeah, I want to make sure that when I lay this, and I only have an 1/8 of an inch margin on the card. See how that will look. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do is I'm gonna let this sit. I want to ink on the inside of this to give it some dimension And I'm going to use my Distress Vintage Photo and use my little dauber that I have for it. Hopefully that I can get in like this, yeah. And just go around the inside like this. I probably could have done with yellow too, but it gives it like a little antique-y look. I might go around the card, or around this cardstock with it to keep flowing with it like that. So I figured I would try using, because I got to make Christmas cards. I'm getting a little bit ahead here. But I thought this set that I got off a Diamond Press that I showed you from my haul was pretty cute. And I wanted to share with you, you know, some ideas that I like doing with the cards, or the dies and that. Let's see here. A little tricky getting and doing it from the inside. I'm so used to going from the outside with it. Okay. Now I'm just going to go along the edges here. Just darkening them up a little bit. So it gives it an antique-y look. There we go. And this recollection paper is only one. Or no, this one's two-sided. That's right. I forgot. But it's more GSM, and it has more like a cardstock feel to it. This paper is pretty. And I think I've seen other people having hauls with it that they got some of this paper too. Okay. All right. Now, sorry. Let me get a drink. Now, I wanted to also add like gold toppers, like the connection to hold your bulb up. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to be doing with that too. Let me get this, and I'm going to go back to my scraps of my foil cardstock that I have, and I'm going to just take my little cutter here, folder, I should say. And I'm just going to line it up to the edge here, because I don't want to cut the whole ornament out in gold. And I'm just like kind of estimating. Hang on, I'm better off doing it this way. Holding that. And if it's a little bit bigger than what it is, it's okay. I'll fix it. And then I'm just going to lay the pieces so that one will go like that. No, that belongs over here. No, that one belongs here. They're probably all the same. But I'm just going to cut them out different in the different shapes, because not sure for sure. This is trying to maneuver with your hands. I'm going to try laying it like this. There we go. Oops. So it might be getting a little bit more. There we go. Oops, crooked. Went crooked a little. Yeah, I did do a little crooked. Okay, so we know that one there. And then this last one is the circle one. So I'm going to lay this one in here. And go just a little bit there. Okay. Alright. So the circle one goes up there. The gold one there. This one. Are they the same? I think they are. I think they do fit the same. Okay. I thought I cut this one for this one. I did. Alright. So now that I have that, I'm going to lay these here so I know where they are. And I'm going to glue this down first. Well, I'm going to glue it on here first, I should say. Or tape it. So what I'm going to do is, because I kind of want the music showing through, so I'm going to just keep like moving it around to where I like what the look looks like. I kind of like that there. Right here I go up. Now back down. Oh yeah, I like that look right there. So I'm just going to hold it on the back. And I'm going to take some washi tape because I'm going to end up gluing it all down. If I can find my end of my washi tape. And just tacking it down at the spots. That. Yeah, I like it like that. That looks nice. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, actually I'm going to take this stick glue. I'm not going to depend on this stick glue because I don't trust it because it dries up and it gets funny. Like it loses its stick. Oops. I lost my, it loses its stick. But I'm just going to use it to temporarily like hold it into place so it doesn't warp my paper a little bit. And what I want to do is I want to go underneath here, lift this up, and tap in these. So I guess it's going to give me a problem here. I should open up and check to see if it was working. All right, hold on. I'll be right back. All right, so I got my Ziggy two-way glue stick or a glue pen, and I just went through it with this one. I can't get that tip open. And I'm just going to push this down. Because if you use a real wet glue with thin paper, it gets warpy. And then this tip, you just push down to get more glue in and that. I'm just going to be dabbing around here. Okay. And I'm going to try to line this up the best I can here. Let's see that. There. Okay, so I want to trim this one. I kind of went off a little crooked with this one, so I'm just going to snip that. And put a little bit of glue on this too. And stick that in there for an accent piece. And put this one up here. And that. And then this one here. Now don't worry if you have a little glue on your foil. It will come off once you let it dry. I just take a little rag and that to clean it up. So I have that started. Now, I was going to do the stenciling, but I think I'm better off just inking, putting this, the stamp on it. I'm not sure if I'm a good stenciler or not yet. I think I have to try this out. And I have my grippy mat stuck to my stamper platform. And it's really stuck. But it's okay. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this in here first. So that way I can stamp on it. I'm going to take the stamp and I'm going to stamp it with red. I was thinking of black, but I have to line up the bevel edges for it to make sure that I'm stamping. I'm sorry if my head's in the way. It's so I can see that I got this lined up pretty good like that. Okay. Now, maybe I will do it in black. Try this black. It might pop it, pop it more. Well, that's too bad. It wasn't off too bad. I think I'm only going to do one. All right. So I'm going to pop this up. And that's one. And then I'm going to lay the second one down. And then I'm going to clean off my stamp with a baby wipe because I got to reposition it again. I don't want a second generation if I don't have it the way I want it. And I'm trying to make sure that I'm on that beveled line. I'm going to come over just a hair there. Try this one. Oh, there we go. That looks better too. Okay. Pick this up. And if you pick it up and start folding out, you can get your cuts off. Well, I did run off there a little bit, but that's okay. We'll fix that. And oh, baby wipes this off too. And I took notice my other one did get marked up a little bit, but that's okay. It works. Let it dry a little bit. Clean off this. I'll go over here a little bit or two because it's probably more sticky over here. Okay. And last time lining up. Okay, I think I have it good there. Okay. I got this one. Putting that off. There we go. There we go. I love this grippy mat. This is perfect for when you want to get stamping. I hope they bring them back so other people can get to use it, because this is really nice and easy to work with your stamp platform. Okay. Let this dry a little bit. And put this back on the thing. Now, what I was debating on, I'm going to layer it with 2 layers, so it gives it thicker. I mean, it's thick, but this is cardstock, and I kind of want it to offset it to make it a little white, too. Maybe I should keep it, no, I kind of think I'm going to do the offset on it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this, just run the glue on here like this. And I'm going to press it on here. And I'm going to go to my left a little with it. So a little bit of the white is showing, and I went up a little bit. So to the right, or to the left and up to the top. And see how that gives it more stability. And now this one, I know that I didn't have very much, so I'm going to be using it from here down. And go down around this way. Okay. Okay, back over to the left and up a little bit. Like that. Just press that in there like that. I know I'm going to be trimming the tails off anyhow, so I'm just going to trim, because I'm not going to need them all that long. This one, only this far. Okay, to the left and up to the right a little bit. To the left and up to the right. Oops, too far. There we go. Oops. This one's a short one. I'm having problems lining myself up. All right. There we go. All right. All right. So, I'm pretty sure this one's going to go at the top. Like that. Going to have this one down here. Might just lay that one on top like that and go like that. And then this one, put underneath and go up. This one I might build up a little bit on dimensions. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to glue this one first, but I have to decide how far up I'm going with it, because I have to snip it. But I want that gold to show. So I'm just going to mark it right here and snip this right off. Like that. And then I'm going to glue this one down. I got this glue Zig at off of HSN a couple years ago, but I do see Michael carries them. They carry it in a fine point and also like a marker tip. These are really nice glue sticks to use if you're going to foil on that, because they dry a little bit and they give that stickiness like the paste from Diamond Press. I think I'm going to put this one down too. Put this one up. Put this one up a little higher. Okay. And I like working with them to do foiling at times because it really, it's easy. You only have to let it sit for like 10 minutes at the most and you can start feeling it tacky. And it does grab. Okay. There we go. Now, this is the last one. And I'm going to bring that down a little bit. So I'm going to end up cutting this right where this die is. Like that. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I want to stamp my sentiment now. I want to wait, but I don't want to do it until I want to stamp it and emboss it before putting this one on. Because I want to protrude this, and I'm afraid the stamp won't stick to it. And I'm trying to figure out which one. I'm wondering. No. This one, wishing you the very merriest Christmas. Okay. So this one I'm going to do freehand-it. I'm going to be free bird today. And hope I don't mess it up. And I'm going to get this out. And I'm going to do this here like this. This is my catch. And I'm going to use my powder to make sure, because I was touching that, so I don't leave no residue. I guess I shouldn't do this, but I'm gonna, because normally I put it on my stamping platform, but I'm afraid it's gonna stay stuck. The card's gonna bend and everything. Okay, so I'm gonna figure it right about here. Press this down and rock it a little. Not too hard, because you don't want a blurry image. And I'm going to pick it up. Ooh, come on, nice. Oops. Got a little heavy on that, though, huh? Okay. Put this back in the pot. Take my heat gun, and then it will pop. Once it starts changing color, you'll see the plastic is melded onto there, and you keep moving on. Don't hold it at the same spot, because it will lose that glossiness and like meld into the paper. See how that looks now? You have that glossy look to it. Okay. I was debating on putting another branch on there, but I think it might be too much. If I put this here, I was thinking about cutting another branch like this and throwing it on top of there yet. I don't know. What do you think? Should I try it? Maybe I will. What I'm going to do is, so first I'm going to put dimensionals on this to build this up. And just going to put a little bit here. And I'm going to take a little bit here, put this here, one here. And then I'm going to cut this in half to do down the ribbon, the tails of it, like that. I think that it might give it more dimension if I do it. I do like this. I never had none with Christmas balls before. But it gives it a different look. And I'm glad I put the notes from there too. So I'm going to line it up at the top and over a little. I can't really see this good. There we go. There we go. I don't know, maybe I really should put this with the pine cone, or is that going to be way too much? What's really nice is that you can see what's printed on these. I think that might look pretty cute, though, if you do it with it that way. Let's say have it come down, or have this one go over. All right, I'll just stamp it, and we'll go for it. It's just going to take a piece of cardstock. I'm going to do this one. Just lay it there. And where's my block at? Ooh, my block's not big enough. Let me get another one. This one's bigger. And this has a die to cut out of it too. Maybe I'll stencil this one since I have the stencil, and I'll try it. Okay. Oh, that's cute. Okay. So I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it out, and I'm just going to lay it on here and kind of match it up to the circles there. And tape this down. Trim this over. And run it through my cutter. Marquise, I should say. Okay. And yeah, that looks like it cut pretty cute. Okay, so I'm going to take my grippy mat, and it's stuck to my top again. That's down too hard. I usually keep this on the sheet, but I've been letting it on my stamping press. And to re-stick it, or get it sticky again, you just wipe it down with a baby wipe. Okay, so I'm going to stick this on my grippy pad. And I'm going to get them stencils that go along with it. Here. Pine branches. Okay, so pine branch 1 and 2. Wait, does it go like this? That looks like that. Sweet. 2. That's 1. This is 2. This is 3 and 4. Okay, so lay that there, and there. Okay. Like I said, I'm just gonna see how it grips it, so I don't even have to worry about it. But I have to line it up from where the, like that, right there. So just, I'm tapping it, and you can see where it's highlighting it up. So I'm going to use that antiquing brown that I used to go around the edges to do my brown, because there's still someone there. There we go. And then I'm going to pick this up. There we go. Oh, that looks nice. Okay, then we're going to go to 2. Which one is this? Is this one? Yeah, that looks all right. There. And now I'm going to do red. I'm going to take this red that I have. And I'm just going to tap it here a little bit. And I'm just going to pounce it a little bit like that. There we go. And then I need 3. Okay. 3. I'm going to use this green from 3. Is this one? Oh, wait, does it go like this? There we go. Okay, so I'm going to use, maybe I'm going to use a lighter green, like a green yellow. Let me see if I can find, here we go. Like this pear tart. Let me make sure I like that. Oh, yeah. That's, maybe I do like stenciling. I didn't think I would. I have to come out of my comfort zone sometimes. Okay. Leave my pear tart out. And then I have to go to 4. Okay. And 4 is this one. There we go. I'm going to go with darker green. And try this one. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see how that looks. Oh, very nice. Like it. That was pretty nice. I kind of would like more darkness to my red, though. Ugh. This is just me. So I'm just going to go around here, like underneath here, because this is me. I don't know why I can't leave things alone. It's just that I think it needs shadows more. There we go. And this was just the red from the watercolor set. So I'm mixing everything up here today. Now, I kind of like it. I don't know if I like this stark whiteness. I'm thinking maybe I'm going to lift this up. Okay, so remember, I'm peeling off from the back so it stays like that. I'm thinking that maybe I want to take my vintage photo, or yeah, the vintage photo again with the brown and go around the edges. Oh yeah, see, I just definitely needed that. I mean, I'm just gonna go in there a little bit, go in here a little bit to create more darkness. I just don't like the stark whiteness for it. Gives it more of an antique-y look. There we go. Yeah, I do like that better. Okay. So now, let's see what we can do here. Clean this here. Now the stenciling went pretty good. Better than I thought it would. Have all the branches going this way. I thought maybe not covering the bow. Okay, you know what I'll do? I'm going to create my own little thing here. So I'm just going to go back and forth like this. I'm going to go up and kind of clip in there. And I'm going to go like this. Because I want to keep this like this. And then I'm going to add this one over here. Like that. So I'm going to put dimensionals only on the bottom half and a little bit of the tip there. So I'm just going to cut a little bit here and then here. Leave this one because I'm going to lay that on top. And just cut a little snip here. Let's do it this way. And before I lay it down, I want to make sure like that. Or come down like this. Yeah, I think that's what I want to do. I want to lay it like that. Okay. So I'm just going to dab this with glue in here. Because I don't know exactly where it's going to hit. Take off this and this one, and then I'm going to line it up like that. Bring that down a little bit. I know it's covering the bow, but you do get to see it. And then this one, I don't know if I should, maybe I should bring this one down here like this. Or keep it in the corner and just go up a little higher. Or not put it on. What do you think? Just protrude the center? Or keep it in the corner, and so I feel like it needs some. Okay, I'm not sure how I want to do this. This is what happens to me. I start with it, and I start playing, and I can't remember what I can't see what I want to. I wonder if I take it to that far in the corner. Just have it protruding just a corner out. Okay, let me hold my fingers. I'm just going to cut a V here and line it up in a corner like that. I think that's what I'm doing. And protrude that out a little bit, just a little bit in there like that. Felt like I needed something. So I'm just going to match it into this corner and squish it down. And there you go. That's the one card that I got made with it. Now, maybe I should do another one, trying the stencils. Okay, let me get back to you and see what we're going to be doing next with this. Okay, the second card I decided to make, I was going to use the honey plate, which I cut out of white cardstock. And then I grabbed my, this Recollection Noel, and it had like borders, and I cut out the tree border and left the rest, because these make simple, easy cards, and I wanted to show you what I was going to do with this. So this cuts the frame out on it and gives it texture and everything. And what I was going to do is put this on the bottom, put that in the middle, and then I'm going to take this mirrored card, cut it this way. Yeah, I'm going to cut this mirrored card. Sorry if it's making the camera really funny looking. And hopefully I can go with this. And instead of stenciling it, I'm going to stamp it with Stays On ink, because it should adhesive, like attached to this. But I need this stamp platform because, and also it takes a little bit for it to dry. You can't like move it right away. So I'm gonna put this here, put that there. Make sure I don't have no fingerprints on this. Clear, okay. And is it this one? Yeah, it's that one. Okay. And I'm going to lay this on top. Sorry with my head again. It's just that I'm trying to make sure that I am lined up on here with it. This one, with it being reflective, it's a little bit hard for me to see. And oh, not diversifying, Stays On. I don't oh, I think I got too much on there. Like, do anything to my inks or my ink pads or anything. I might have to touch that up a little bit. Stays On's good for stamping on material and on shiny, slick material. I just want it this way if it doesn't go on too good. Oh, it looks good. I use this Stays On when I do Shrinky Dinks too. Material. That would have been cute too. Didn't even think of that. Could have done it on a Shrinky Dink and put it in. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, maybe that might be another card. And then it will shorten, make the ornaments smaller. And I'll show you how that works. Really cute. Okay. So I want to let this dry a little bit. And while that's drying, I'm going to get a card base. I'm going to put this out of my way until it dries, because it takes a few minutes for it to dry. And I'm going to do this way. Now, I need to mark. Actually, what I'll do is I'll do it this way. I'll add my glue to the back of this. I thought I had some tonic glue. My art glitter glue is almost all. I have to order some more. I like working with that because it dries clear and it's good to work with. I just like working with it. Okay, so I'm gonna put this right tight to the bottom here and line it all the way up. Press it in. And I'm going to take this a little bit down from there because I want this detail to show. Maybe I'll bring it down a little further. I'll go up to that line. Okay, let me glue this one also. Some ink come off of that paper. That's okay though. It's only glue. Okay. And I'm gonna glue this. What did I say, to this line? Yeah. What's nice is it has, I can follow these points on here. That way I know I'm going straight. Okay. And then I'm going to go behind and I'm going to trim this off. There we go. Put that on there like that. And that gives a nice margin. And this will be another simple, easy card. And then I'm going to try that, what was I going to do with it? I have to think again. Oh, Shrinky Dinks. I have to find my Shrinky Dinks. And let me make sure this opens up right. And I'm going to glue this. I should, you know what? I'm gonna get the tear tape. It's easier to do that. I don't know, I got it stuck good. I like using tear tape too. And then I'll burnish it and show you. It really is, this card kit is simple to do. Make really cool looking cards, quick and really nice. Okay. keep checking. I don't want to put it on backwards or upside down. And this gives more like maybe a 1/4 inch border all around. There we go. And it just adds something. I love that detail on this. It just really adds. I'm going to pick up my mat again, and I'm going to bend it down a little bit, and I'm going to pull this up. Oops, it's really sticky. I'm going slow. Okay. Just want to put that there. Maybe I should cut 2 more to give it more thickness. Let me grab cardstock. I'm going to cut out 2 more of these and glue them on. This is how I work. I just keep thinking, oh, maybe I should have done this and add more. But great, I didn't go all the way. Okay, try it again with another side here. Go this way. Go all the way through. I didn't crank all the way through that. It cut that one out. There we go. Okay. Now, I'm going to layer them up anyhow into 3. And I'm just going to run the glue around. All the way around. Like that. And start at the bottom here and kind of jiggle it together here. Okay. And then I'm going to take this one. I'm coloring here. I'm going to start at the bottom again. And go down. And there we go. I'm going to flip it over so I can massage it. I don't want to mess around with that. Stays on. I don't want to. It stays on. It just, there, that added more dimension on it. Okay. And now, should put a cute little ribbon that it's hanging. Maybe I should use that. Stays on again. And cut this in red. Okay, I have the red here. Oh, wonder if I should just cut it out of red cardstock so it's not so shiny. Okay, let's do that. I like cutting my dies out first because, let's do it this way. Then I can stamp them. I don't always do it this way, but it just seems that with these thin ones, it's hard to line up a, what is it I'm looking for? The part of the die. It's really thin. Okay. And now, I've got to go find that one. This one, ooh, I don't know. Guess I'm gonna go freehand with this one. I'm going to go with regular this, so, and a stamping block. Oy. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to lay it on here instead of putting it on that mat, because this is kind of delicate. This one's going to be a fun one. I can feel it. But I want to make sure it lines up when I don't really need that much of it either, to be truthful, because the card ain't going to stick out that far. All right, here we go. Okay, I'm a little crooked, but I'm going to get that straightened out so you can see. Now, remember, the rough side's down and the smooth side's over here. And I'm just going to do these. And we're going to take it this way. And I'm going to have my head in your way again. But for me to see... Oh, I think I went off a little bit. Not too bad, though. No, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Okay. I worked out pretty good. Better than I thought I'd do. Okay. So I'm going to put that back on here. And then this will go here like this. I'm going to put that there. Put that right in there. Like that. And it's just enough I need it. Now, I need to figure out what for sentiment do we want to put on. And if you stamp it on here, this will be rough because you're going to have to stamp it on a cardstock smooth, because this will be too much bevel and everything, and it won't give you a crisp, clear. Oh, that one's cute. I wonder if I should kind of like that, to put it like that on the bow. And what if they do it this way? Bring it up, put the bow here. Put it there. No, I like it over here for some reason. Okay, no, wait a minute. All right, I'll go with this one. This way I can cut a straight line. Okay. Okay. Should use this, but this one's a long one to do. And I want to emboss it. So we're going to take this and go like this. And the reason I'm doing this is because I fingered up the card and I do not want to get fingerprints on it. That it will not emboss nice. And I'm going to lay this down. It's a little smooth. Press and leave it sit there for a second or two. And then I'm going to lift straight up. Oop. Do not know if that will make it, because the powder was in there. Darn. It looked clear too. Okay, let me chop this off. Try it again. And here we go again. Oh, this time I'm going to just go lightly and blow that powder away. And go back to this again. Okay. going to put this here and take it all the way to the end and lay this down right there. Okay, leave it rock a little. Pick it straight up. Oh, much better, much better. Okay. Now I'm going to emboss it so it pops. And heat it up again. As you can see, it don't take real long till it starts getting that glassy look. Okay. And put this back in. And this one too. Okay. Alright. I'm going to chop this off. Make sure I'm down a little further. Oh! I chopped off it completely. Here we go again. Ay, ay, ay. All right, let's do it again. I'll be back. I'm going to hold you. 3 times is a charm. Okay, I got it. And I chopped it down. Now I'm going to add a little bling. I'm going to put this silver or red card, mirrored card, and I'm going to lay it in the corner and trim it this way. And that will add a little to the, with the ornament. I'm going to lay it in the corner so I have less cutting to do. And it will just add a little what it needs. Okay. Now, what did I do with that ornament? Huh. Okay, the ornament going up. And then we're going to go across. Okay. Now my ornament disappeared. Let's stick one here. I'll be back again. Okay, I could not find the ornament. I have no idea if it blew away or what happened, but I had to quick make another one and go from here. Okay, so crazy time. So this is my second card that I will have finished, and I'm not gonna put foam dots or anything on this. I'm going to try to keep this one flat. I might have to put foam dots on the, keep this here, on the, this. That's the only thing that I'm going to have to do. For them, my real thin dots, I know they're in here somewhere. They're smaller. So I cut these in to fit in strips. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this because this is 3. And put this. Whoops, I gotta make sure that right about here. Wait, let me see. Yeah, right about here. I want it. And then I want to put the adhesive in on top. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut about like this and cut this in half. And put this down the middle first. And I'm going to have to cut little like dots just to, because these lines are so thin. And cut this like this. Put it up here. And then I'm going to cut 2 more. Put this one like this. And then this one over here like this. Now this is sticking out, so I'm going to have to pick this up a little bit and trim it back to about there. Okay, now I still have some glue dots there, yeah, but I want to see how much I have to trim off of here. About right there. I'll make sure again. Yeah, right here at this one. I'm going to just peel these off and stick that on. Now, I kind of use up everything of my foam. That's why I cut it, and after I peel the squares and everything, because the thin lines are really nice to use for like this here. I mean, I had to cut it in half again, but you get the idea that that's how you can get dimension with it when it's really thin, delicate dies like this. Okay. I'm going to put this, make sure that's up there. Right there. And there's number 2 card. Okay. Now, so that is 2 cards with it. Now I'm thinking, let me get back to you about the Shrinky Dink, because I'll have to plug in my pancake maker for that to work that. And I gotta figure out a pattern in which way I want to, because I'm going to probably do the ornaments in the Shrinky Dink to show you how they work. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I found my Shrinky Dink. I have clear and I have white and black, but I'm going to use the white. So this I got from Hobby Lobby. They do sell this on Amazon also. And it's just that I figured I'd use the white. So what I'm going to do is show you how I use my mini melt, which is a pancake maker, to make tiny little Shrinky Dinks we'll make it the 3rd card. So the metal shims come from Diamond Press, which I've had a go-to kit from using it. And you have to put your shrinky material on the metal shim. And let me lay this way. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to see how many I can cut out of this piece that I can get ornaments. How many ornaments I can get out of here. I'm hoping I can get all 3 out of this sheet, but I'm not sure. No, I can't get all 3 out of this sheet. Let's see if this will work. Tape it down. maybe I can get this one. I turn it a little. It might work. Okay, I'll try it. I don't know if it's gonna work or not, but we're gonna try. So you'll put your folder down. You'll put your metal shim down. You'll take your shrinky material, place it in there, and you're going to line it up and run it through your cutting, your marquise or whatever cutting you have, which I think it shifted on me here a little. And then it should have cut them through, which it did cut a little off, but that's okay because what I planned for it, that will work. So now you have your shrinky dink pieces. You can make earrings out of these also. That would be a cute idea with it. And I'm going to put this here. Now what I'm going to do is show you, I'm going to keep that folder. And you got to pop the pieces all out. I'm going to plug in my pancake maker and start heating that up. And while that's heating up, I'm going to get my StazOn ink and look for the ornaments. Okay, is it this one? Yep, this one. And you can color these with alcoholic markers also. So the StazOn works good, that it stays on the shrinky dink material. And I like using it to do this with, I made jewelry for granddaughters already using this. Okay, and then I'm going to line it up the best that I can here. Press down. I'm off a little bit. Just a little. And if you move it, it will, but that's okay. That will look okay. That's going to be fine. And clean that off. The baby wipe. Okay. And I need another ornament. Where does this one go? Put this here. And put that right there. Oh, uh-oh, I slid. Okay, hopefully it's okay. Okay, we're gonna, where's my tweezers? Oh, we're good, okay. Oh, I got a little panicky there. Okay, so that one worked out good. And then the last one I need is this one. I have to go down real slow. Make sure I'm trying to be a real steady hand. Take my tweezers, pick it up. And there we go. Now, it'll take a few minutes for it to dry. And while that's heating up, so you can color the shrinky dinks with alcoholic or alcohol markers. And it does darken as it heats up and shrinks. I might just color some I'll go with a pink since I have that pink in there. And I'm not going to color them like completely. And I'm going to go with the light pink. what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over it lightly, just in the centers here, just to, and don't touch your stays on or it will lift up also. So I'm just going in here like this, just to give it a little bit of color. See how I bumped it a little, but that's okay. Like I said, you'll find out. It works pretty good. And maybe I'll do this a little bit here too. Okay. I just want to add a little color. And then I'll go with this yellow to do some of this. And because it's going to darken it. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw lines again here and here, just to give it a little color. And it probably don't look like I'm doing anything, but as it darkens, you will see it. And I might use another blue. What is this? This is an aqua blue. I'll use the light blue here. And I'll just go across here a little bit too. Down here. Okay. And the last one, let's see. I will use, I'll go with purple. And this light purple. And I'll just go down here. Trying to stick in with it. These are fine lines. Just a little bit here and there. There you go. Okay. So this is heated up. And I have parchment paper that I put inside that I have cut into 4-inch circles to fit into my pancake maker. I'm going to bring this over because it is hot. And I'm going to lay this down. And I'm going to put my shrinky dinks in here because they will melt. So you just lay them in there and you can actually watch them here as they'll start going back into shape. You know, I should just put the lid down and let you see when it is finished. It doesn't take long. So it heats it up and everything and shrinks it down. It gives you perfect little ornaments or little trinkets, earrings. I like playing with this at times. It's fun, and it doesn't take up any room on my desk. And right there you go. That's the end of the ornaments. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this up out of just keep it flat. And they will dry. I mean, they'll cool down. It doesn't take long for them to cool down. And actually, they'll be perfect. Added a little color to there. And see, they're dry already. And they're just a nice size to put onto the card. I'll show you then. Okay, I'm going to set them over here to get them out of my way. And put this away. And I just keep saving my parchment paper. I cut a bunch of them, and I just keep them in my one folder for when I'm ready to use it and that. Okay, so I decided I was going to use this Santa Claus. I fussy cut it out of the Christmas Noel Sprinkle Shop Bouquet. I thought that was cute. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it like a little shaker card. And I'm going to use this design again. I love this. I have more of these, but I want to keep using this one since these are available right now on my diamond press. And it cuts out a clean margin and everything. And I tilt mine just a little bit so it's not a big thump and don't break the machine. Well, it won't break the machine, but it cuts cleaner when you have it off, just slightly tilted. And this will be creating your margin. See how it cuts out the frame, because this was a 4x5 or 4.5 by 5.5. So it adds a margin for you already. And I lost my pokey tool. Okay. So now we're going to, since I want to make this a shaker card, I'm going to figure out, I want to keep Santa Claus here, but I want to put 2 ornaments. And I think I'm going to go with one here and one behind his head. Let me come down like this. Okay. And maybe I should only go with one, huh? Okay, I'll just do one. Short one. Long one. Although it might look cute with 2. Okay, I'll do 2. All right, so I'm going to keep them there. And I'm going to tape them in the spot that I want them. I found out you can cut through it again, that you have this, and it don't really affect it. I'm going to show you how. And just run it through. And you still have your pattern. And now you have a cutout. You have these. And that's that. All right. So, keep this over here. So I want to, this is going to be just a real quick, simple card. So I have a thin piece of acetate. And I just want to make sure that I can cover that the holes up for the here. I was hoping that I don't know if I need the whole piece. I have acetates all over. Let me see. No. And I also make my own acetate too from my laminator too. I'm looking, I do. Ooh, I forgot about these too. I have these little ones. This I got a pack of. I might have to use it though because the way I cut it. Yeah. Okay, I'll just use it. I thought maybe I didn't. I had something different. Okay, so what I'll do is I will cut it a little bit shorter than the frame, which I'm going to mark it like right here. But I want to make sure it covers and down here. Make sure it's down to here. because I need it to cover the ornament. Okay, let me run that through my chopper thingy. And let's see. I'm just cutting it at 3 by 4. Let me make sure here. There's the mark there. No, 3 3/4. Okay. And I save these pieces because I use other, you always can use scrap pieces for it. Okay, so now I'm taking the nice side and flipping over, and I'm gonna put this on here, and I am going to use red line tape because that holds the acetate the best. And I have a thin one here, so I'm going to take it along the edge here and make sure that I have it attached, because the glue sometimes takes longer to dry on these the acetate. Oops. And this way I can keep going. Okay. And it is also clear, so we're good. I think this is an 1/8 red line tape that I'm using. Oops. Okay. And I'm going to burnish this onto here quick. And then I'm going to peel it off. Now, it gets staticky when you put, whatever you put, sequins or anything inside to make the shaker part. And I don't usually do, because the shaker card, you know, it's, this way. Just make sure that I have it all the way. Okay. Okay, and there is the, make sure that's clean too. I had a little glue on there. Okay, so I was thinking about putting this on top like this, and then sticking the little ornaments in here. Maybe have one over here with Santa Claus. Maybe this one with Santa Claus. And then these two over here. And then put the shakers inside for decoration. I'm not going to put Santa up. He's going to get glued flat along with the little shrinky ornaments. So the next thing before we do this, you should put a background in there for a decoration, so it's not so stark white. And I did see some cute, I was looking, I kind of like that too, this pattern for behind there with shakers in it. And because this is, or do you think that's too busy? Yeah, I am gonna stick to this. Okay, so I know I have this chopped off, but you're not gonna see it anyhow, so I have to chop this down also. And I gotta look what the size was on here. This is 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, so I have to make this 3 7/8. And what did I say it was? 5 1/4. So we'll make it. What was it? Hang on. This is how bad I am at times. 4 by 5 1/4. So we'll make it 5 1/8. 5 1/8. Okay. Maybe go a little shorter because I don't really need. There. All right. And you're thinking, oh my gosh, that's pieces here all messed up, but that's gonna get hidden. It's gonna get hidden. See? It's gonna be hidden. And I'm gonna just trim this off because that's bothering me. Okay, see that? Okay. So I have to put this right there, make sure that I'm gonna be covering that all. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to glue this one in first. And then I'll show you with the adhesive. We're going to go like this with it. Oops. Like there, I think it was. Move it over a little bit. And you double check it. Okay. Put that down. All right. Hang on, I've got to go grab the sequins. Okay, so these were from Tonic. They're like an iridescent. And these were from Recollection Snowflakes. So them are the ones that I'm going to use. So what I'm going to do is show you, you're going to take your tape, the foam tape, and you're going to line it up to the edge here. You're going to go all the way down to your other edge. And you're going to make sure that you're sealed there. And I trim this. And then I go across here. And you want to butt it tight against, because you do not want them sequins to fall out. Take it all the way over. And then again. And then up along this side. And this will let it create a little movement inside the card. These are really easy to make. Take this up against and run that up against there, tight into that corner. That way you don't have no gaps, and I just press it. Now, I can fit, just let it down, but I'm going to actually take it here because I want to keep the sequences in this area, and it sort of like adds more sturdiness to the card. There we go. And that is ready to put in on top of there. But before we do that, we're going to decorate it, and then that way I can well, actually, I need one more thing. I need the sentiment. And what do we want to put on it? Let's see, holiday joy. Happiness and cheer. That would fit nice in there, though. Okay. I wonder if I should just do it out of this. Cheer. And then do it in a... Okay. So it stays with the theme of that. There, and then we'll trim it and put glitter, or not glitter, embossing powder on it again so it shines. I'm gonna actually put that up here like this, so that's snowflake in there, because I want to keep it. Oh, I forgot to put powder on. I hope I did okay. Okay, let's see. This. Pick this straight up. Put that over there. Embossing powder. Oh, you know, you can emboss with your pancake thing too. Maybe I should show you that. Let me plug it in. It's real easy to do. I forgot about that. Oops. Now I spilled it all over. But I got that heat. I'm letting that heat up a little. Okay. This is real fine plastic. I gotta grab my wipes. Clean this up a little. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this over. It's getting warm, and then let me zoom. Whoo, let me zoom down that you can see it better, and you'll see how it embosses it. Maybe I should turn it this way that the light's hitting it better, and see how it is like dry. So let me cut this so it fits a little bit better. And then so I'm going to lay it in there. And you can watch it. You'll see it start getting real shiny. Because it heats it up, and see it's starting that it is embossing it. And it is just about finished. And there we go. That you don't have to put it in, that stayed hot for a while. This doesn't take long. And then you don't have to turn on your heat gun and make all that noise. Okay. That's another way to emboss. And I'm going to chop this down a little into a square. Okay, it's dry. And way. Me right there. And take this over here. That looks a little crooked to me. Hang on. Maybe I can do it better with my eye. This way. A little bit this way. There we go. All right. And I should layer it with another layer too. Ooh, it's covering part of that ornament. Oh, maybe I should put in the center. Oh, that's what I'll do. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna get foil. Spilling it all. Should I go with what color? No. The blue? It's sort of like a turquoise. I don't know. Or should I go with this silver? Yeah, let's do that. Making a mess over here. I gotta organize my desk one of these days. And you know what? Right there is where I'm gonna go with this. Okay. Take it all the way into this corner and up. And just snip it right here. There you go. And that makes it look finished. Okay. So, I think I'm gonna let it there. And we're gonna go there. All right. I guess I'll do the shaker first. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to dump in the center here a little bit of this and a little bit of this. Not too many, because once it starts shaking up. Okay, so I want to push these up a little bit and flatten them out a little too. Because I have to make sure that, yep. All right. I'm going to peel this off. I'm going to peel these all off and try to get it the best I can to the center. Of this, and see how they're jumping about it already. There we go. And I'm going to flip it over and press down. And there's your shaker. It's snowflakes and in the sequence. It's a good thing I did this silver because that looked good with this. And I don't know if I should. I don't think I'm going to put that on dimensionals. I'm just going to glue that right on there too. Guess I'm going to go to the center with that. Let me see, 3. Let me see. Down a little bit. Right there. That way it's not taking away too much. Glue Santa with his little treats on there. On here. And have him over a little bit. There we go. And then I'm going to take this 3-in-1 because this seems to stick the best for shrinky dinks when you're doing them. I have to decide now quick which way I'm going. Was I going with this one here? Make them lay in the ground like they're laying. Yeah, we'll do that. And you don't need much. You just need a little bit because this really holds. And it is also like hot glue. It is stringy. There we go. And just one little dab here. I'm not even squeezing this. I'm just letting it bubble out a little bit. I'm going to put this like this. And then I'll lay this one like, these fell off the tree. There we go. I'm going to have this one laying down like this. And there's the 3rd card from that kit. And I got to show you how to use the pancake machine. And, well, I call it my mini melt. But in here are the cards that you got from that die set with 3 different looks. Well, thank you for liking and subscribing, and keep up with the likes. It's really, really helping me. And I do appreciate everybody watching, and I hope you're enjoying all that I'm showing. Till next time, happy crafting, everyone. Bye-bye.